Welcome. I invite you and Dr. Harper into my home. My name is Ted. Please make yourselves comfortable. I'm really glad you could make it here. I know you're both really busy. Let me take your coats and offer you something to drink. I like to think that I can provide the minimum of hospitality. Doctor, I've acquired a robust vintage if you care to partake. There's plenty, so by all means, don't be shy. And for you, well, I have soda, sports drink, milk tea, and fruit juice. Very good. I'll take a moment to get your refreshments, and in the meantime, notice this robe laying down on the table. This robe's construction is inspired by clothing of Edo, Japan. Excess folds of fabric are tucked and tied neatly to provide you with a comfortable and dignified appearance at all points along your transformation today. It's the least I can do for you since you have graciously elected to help us perform our experimental trial. This is my way of letting you know that I appreciate this opportunity you've afforded us. Dr. Harper, would you mind coming with me to allow our subject some privacy to change? Well, that is also perfectly fine. That makes sense. Having lived together for a while, it's natural for the two of you to be quite comfortable with each other. I shall return in a while. Are you decent? Okay. Oh my, that is quite flattering on you, I must say. Here are your drinks. So let us sit down and talk a little about what we will be doing. As you may be aware, I am a vampire, much like your friend here. This is a fairly new development for me, and I've come to understand that my vampirism presents itself with a unique ability to be very persuasive over people's minds and their bodies. I suppose that makes me a natural manipulator, but I don't care for that descriptor very much. I've always used that term to talk about awful, selfish, insidious people. Those things are not strictly required for manipulation, but it doesn't help with the ugliness of the word. I hope you can look past that. If you're still willing to move along with the plan, what I'm going to do is bring your mind into a sort of a different place, like an instance that exists just for the two of us. Think of it as changing the channel on your TV. Only instead of channels, they are entire environments. In our current environment, it is late evening, and the moon is at its darkest, a new moon. Ordinarily, you would not shift into a werewolf. You should be at your most human state now. When I bring you to another environment, it will be controlled, and we will gradually increase the moonlight until it is full. The plan is for you to examine how you're feeling with the increasing exposure to moonlight. You will shift today, but you will not be alone. I will talk to you about your experience and see if we can isolate a factor which may allow you to control yourself. How does that sound? For this experiment to be the most beneficial for everyone involved, it is important for you to be very candid with me. I do not have a talent for reading body language like the doctor does. Let me try to be more specific. Will you submit to my power, understanding what my plan is? Good. Do you know that you do not have to participate? It's true. You will not be blamed if you don't. You understand that this is voluntary. Quite so. Now, are you aware that there is a risk that, although this is not our intent, your lycanthropy may trigger and even worsen from this process? Yes. Do you accept this risk? I understand that you and your doctor use restraining devices to mitigate the risk of harming yourself and those around you. I also see that you have brought them along. Do you understand that for everyone's safety, these devices will be used, and that we will only move forward with a trial if you consent to use these restraints? Don't worry, that is okay. I will make sure you understand the question. See, we will be intentionally triggering your lycanthropy to have you transform into a werewolf. This will allow you to have exposure to this feeling in a controlled environment. For our safety and yours, we will be insisting that you wear these restraints. I promise you, it is not a condemnation of your character. This is simply a precaution. I would be remiss if I allowed any injuries to occur which could have been avoided. It's safer to use your mitts, chains, and muzzle and find out that you do not need it. So I ask you again, do you consent to having your restraints placed on you for this trial? Thank you. So, Dr. Harper tells me you respond well to caring, positive affirmation. Would you feel more comfortable if I provided that? Yes, it's perfectly fine. I'm glad you said yes, because I would find it hard to resist after you looked at the doctor like you just did. He must be so proud of his brave patient. Or, I don't know. You wouldn't happen to prefer the term puppy? You enjoy being referred to as a wolf pup? Again, that is perfectly fine. There's nothing to be ashamed about. Well, if everything is in order, I'll have you sign this consent form. Very good. Thank you. Now let's put your restraints on. I'll just lead you to a mat on the floor. It should be at least more comfortable than the hardwood floor and give you room to grow. Good, wolf pup. Close your eyes now. The doctor is still here with you. He won't be leaving your side. When I tell you to, take a deep breath. And when I tell you to exhale, I will pull you into our space. It's going to feel like I'm picking you up, and it works best if you come along. Ready? Very good. Take a deep breath now, and exhale. We have arrived. You can open your eyes now. You can also move around. It's not much, I know. Just a grassy field outdoors. You can hardly make it out right now, but the moon is right above us. I want to ask you another question about your condition. When did you first become a werewolf? Oh, I see. I must say I didn't expect you to have been so young when you were turned. You have any happy memories while you were still a fully human child? That is wonderful. I'd like you to imagine the scene. This happy memory. This place, it will take us to it. Ah, very good. How delightful. You had a very good time at the carnival? I see you have tickets for rides, have prizes, kettle corn, and your friends are nearby. This is a superb memory. Let's roam and take it all in. You don't have any time limit. I'm just going to shed a little moonlight on you. Let's take the moon and divide it up into 12 increments. We'll count them up, and the moon will become fuller until it becomes completely full. Let's begin. We'll start with 1. You're still human. You hardly even notice any change. 2, you noticed more of the smells around you. 3, your body language becomes more animated, more expressive. 4, you are getting used to your awareness. 5, I'm sensing some stress and anxiety now. Let's just linger here for a moment. Look around you. Now, what if I told you that everyone here knows that you're going to transform, and that they believe in you? They believe that you have it within you to be under control. Do you find that hard to believe yourself? We can challenge that assumption. 6, the moon is half full. People are considerately leaving you space to transform, but they're not leaving you to your loneliness. 7. I feel that tension again. Let me ask you, is it the moon that is causing you to feel this way? Or is it that you know what's coming? It's very true that this is stressful. Let's stay here for a moment. You're going to be okay, and you're going to do well. This may be painful too. I know this is asking a lot of you, like holding a bucket that's slowly filling with water. Your hands shake from the weight. Let's back off for a moment. We'll bring it back to 0. There you go. You're okay. The stress is gone. You are in control. If you feel up to it, we can go back to the prior level after you had a little break. All right. Quicker now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the same as before, but you're handling it better. Very good. You should be proud. We can move forward. 8. You're ready for more? This is something you can manage, not just something that happens to you. What do you say? Shall we go straight to the full moon? We can be there for just a moment if you want. All right. So we will now fill the moon. 9, 10, 11, and full. There you go. I know it feels out of control, but you can last a bit longer. There. We'll back off to 0 again. We'll go back to a full moon after going to 0. But only if you want to. We're at 0 now. A fresh new moon. Thus far, I have been changing the moon, but now I want you to take control of it. Make your transformation something that you are doing, and not something that is happening to you. Make the decision. You transform you. I know it's hard. I know it's scary, but you can be brave. There you go. I believe in you. Very good, very good. You have made the moon full again. You own your transformation. This is something that belongs to you. Everyone around you is so proud. It's difficult, yes, but even difficult things become easier with practice. I think we're ready to leave this space. It's time to open your eyes. And we're back. Well, Dr. Harper, how did things go on your end? Ah, yes, I see that they're transformed here. I'm glad I had so much material in that robe. I'm very optimistic about the results here. But I think it'll take a few visits. I don't know if my power is enough to be very helpful in just one session. We'll give it a few and maybe remove restraints until you learn to trust yourself and your abilities. What do you think? Can we do that? I'm so happy that you still want to.